Okay, I think we've got it. And for everybody that's jumping on, if there are technical difficulties, I will apologize in advance. So let me situate this again, and we will get started. So I guess let me know Jen, maybe text me if you can't hear, like if I move back, if you can't hear. So for everybody that's here, welcome, and everybody that's watching in live and calling in also, or anybody that's going to listen to the recording, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to just check out Arbonne and see what it is and kind of what we're about. And I know that we all have busy lives, so I'm going to jump right in. But you were invited to this meeting or to find out what Arbonne was because the person that asked you respects you. They think that there could be a part of Arbonne as a business that could fit for you or your family and could really help you reach your goals and dreams in life and give you the ability to turn around and help other people. So tonight I'm gonna give you my journey story and kind of how I got into Arbonne and what I thought about it, and we'll go from there. And then I'm also going to give you the information on Arbonne as a company. Like what do we do? When you say work Arbonne, what does that actually mean? First of all, what is Arbonne? And like how would this influence or affect you? So I'm going to jump right in. So I'm Grace Wright. I live in Bozeman, Montana, and I just had my 11th anniversary with Arbonne. So I started using Arbonne products in April of 2005. And I grew up on a farm here in Montana, and there are 10 children in my family. I'm number 4 down the line, and I was homeschooled. So I always had horrible, horrible skin, and I just assumed it was because I was working outside and just being in dirt and grease and oil all the time. When I moved out and I started working retail, I moved to Missoula, and I actually broke out worse, and I couldn't figure out what in tarnation was going on. And I literally have used anything you could possibly think of shy of birth control and antibiotics. And the reason they put you on birth control for breakouts is because birth control has antibiotics in them. So I was like, okay, I'm going to quit breaking out. Didn't happen. And I would start using a product. It would work for a little bit, and then I would get worse because I'd get dry and scaly, or I'd get really, really oily. So the lady that I was babysitting for, which was my second job, she started using Arbonne products and kind of turned me on to them, just as far as like mascara and eyeshadow. And mind you, like I wore one color of eyeshadow. It was extremely light tan. You wouldn't even have called it eyeshadow. But to me, like I didn't wear makeup because I didn't like the feel of it, and I didn't like the look of fake. So I refused. And then I also broke out from it. So what was the point? So fast forward, I'm working full-time, quote unquote, at Ace Hardware. And she didn't know that I was just pulled into the office and told that I sucked at my job. People were complaining about me. I wasn't pulling my own weight. Like the list went on and on and on and on. They were cutting my hours. They put me on probation. Oh, but please train these 6 cashiers. And I just was sitting there just going, if all of this was true, you wouldn't ask me to train more people. You wouldn't ask me to be doing something if I was this bad. And I said this to the manager, and he just looked at me like he didn't know what to say. I said, what's really going on here is that you don't want to pay me benefits, and you don't want me to accrue vacation time. And he just kind of looked at me and smiled. And I was like, okay, whatever. So this lady, the lady I'm babysitting for, my second job, she sends me home with some mascara because I was like my eyes were red and itchy and swollen shut. I literally slept in it for 3 days straight. And the reason being was that I was sick of people lying to me about what a product would do, or telling me that it's going to do like all these incredible, amazing things, and then you order it and it does none of them. It doesn't fix any of your problems. And companies don't actually stand for what they say that they stand for. So I take it home. I literally would wash around it, put more on, go to bed. get up in the morning, wash around it, put more on, go to work. 3 days later, I come back, and I still hadn't gotten swollen eyes from it. So I tell her I want to order some. And she kind of starts to whisper, and she's like, well, can I also show you our incredible acne line? And I was like, why are you whispering? It's all over my face. It's all over my back. Like, help me out. So she starts going over what we're going to talk about tonight, what Arbonne cannot put in their product, or uses ingredients in products, and it made complete sense. So she's helping me with my order, and like I'll show you later, when you have specific order increments, you get free gifts. So it was cheaper for me to buy my products as a consultant. So she's adding my order up, and I didn't know that she started working Arbonne as a business. I just thought she was using the products. And she looks at me and she's like, would you ever consider working this as a business? And mind you, I was 20. I was extremely rude and snotty. And I looked at her and I was like, I drive tractors. I refuse to sell lipstick. And she just grinned and she's like, well, our company car is a white Mercedes. And as a regional vice president, Arbonne will send you another $800 in your check every month to make your car payment. You can pick whichever car you want. It just has to be white. And I looked at her again, and I was kind of rude, and I put my hand on my hip, and I was like, I hate cars. I want a pickup. And she smiles, and she's like, we have trips you can earn. I was like, to where? Are they real? Who do you know that's been on them? So this was kind of like, you see, I mean, I wasn't the nicest person. I was really, really mean. So she, fast forward, she keeps just showing me the information. But a couple things she asked me stuck, and she didn't know that I was praying for a new job. She didn't know that I went home from work every single day crying because I hated my life. And I was going into debt, and I was 19. Or I just turned 20. Like, she didn't know this. So one of the questions she asked me was, if you keep doing what you're doing now, where will you be in 5 years? And do you like that? And I knew the answer immediately was no. The next thing she said was, you were able to choose whichever income amount you want, and through your hard work, nobody can control whether or not you get a raise. And that was awesome, because to me, I was the only one, like, I couldn't control a raise at my current job. So that was awesome for me. So, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I know I'm a hard worker, but no, I'm not ever going to sell lipstick. This is stupid. So she helped me with my order. We placed it, and I go home. But I could not shake those two questions, or the question in the statement. And I literally got in my car and was like, God, I asked for a new job. I did not ask to sell face wash. And I pretty much was scared for the next 7 years, I'm going to say, easily. And I would talk to people. I got myself a district manager, which is Arbonne's first level. And you can make $200 to about $1,000 a month there. And so consistently I was making $200 to $500 a month. But I would not show anybody the business. I would not talk about the business. And when she talked to me, like when she showed me how to work Arbonne, some of the things that she said that were reach out methods were you do home presentations, which I hated. And I hated speaking in front of people. You talk to people, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, what are they going to think about me? I'm homeschooled. I don't have a college degree. So people think that I need to go get a college degree in something. And like, I don't have credibility, I guess. I was 20, so I don't have credibility because I'm 20. But my skin cleared up so quickly that it just made me start thinking, if this affected me this much, how much is somebody else affected by their skin? And this is just the beginning. So I'd always wanted to be a hairstylist. I've done hair since I was 3 years old. You could show me a picture and I would turn around and do it. And I just kept putting it off. Like, I'd look into it. I couldn't get student loans because my parents made too much money on their tax paperwork. And like, I couldn't get, literally, it was horrible. So I turned 25. I think I was 26. And this all happens right about the same time. But I turned in paperwork for school and I got grants. So I was like, okay, cool. I can actually, and then I could get loans for the rest of it. But that happened right about the same time that I'm working full time. I'm living with my boyfriend, and I come home. I mean, full time, still going into debt. Okay, like I'm making $1,600 a month, still going into debt. And I come home and I look at him and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to quit working at Blackhawk full time. I'm going to work Arbonne. And I was expecting him to shoot me down so hard and say, what are you thinking? Like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Don't do it. Instead, he smiled and he was like, I do not know what took you so long. And I was like, oh no. Started freaking out. And I started looking into school. And part of me was using it as a back door. But the other part of me knew that I would not be making $6,000 a month minimum and ever be paid to go back through school. So I'm going to just throw in some key factors here too. Things that made me question Arbonne for a very long time was the majority of people you work with will be women. I hated women. I couldn't stand the cattiness. I couldn't stand the attitude. And it was so weird because over time, I had people from random teams helping train me, or that would speak at our meetings or discover Arbonnes like this, and I could show up with my people and they would be giving me tips on things that I could do in my business differently to get different results and not ever get paid on me. So I just kept looking for the catch. Like, okay, where is it? Where does it come? Never came, never came, never came. And some of the people that I respect in Arbonne the most, that I guess for me impacted me the most, are people that will never be paid on my success, but they still did it. So I have this mindset finally where I trust people. I'm excited about the positive people I'm hanging out with. And then I turn around and I go to cosmetology school. Complete opposite. I wanted to quit within the first 5 days. I was in a class of 7 people, and out of 7 people, 6 were on a team. I literally did everything myself, but I kind of knew that going in some ways. And again, I'm back in a situation where I come home every day in tears. Like, my teachers wanted me to fail, and this is my passion. And I didn't understand why they felt like they looked bad if I did better than them. Like, it made no sense to me. So I start school unbeknownst to Bob. Like, he's kind of freaked out more than a little bit when I told him. I start school, and fast forward, I guess so December, like, I know I'm starting school in January, and December, a trip to the Bahamas comes out. And I knew people who went on that trip 5 or 6 years previous. Because, I mean, I've been in Arbonne, right? So I'm seeing, in the time that I have been in Arbonne, I think I've watched like 10 people on our team get Mercedes. It's kind of insane. So that's what made me start thinking about it. So this trip comes out, and I promised myself I was earning that trip. And I'm looking at it. I start school. I'm depressed. I'm back where people want me to fail. And I'm like, I didn't know what to do. So one day I come home. I looked into transferring, but it was going to cost thousands of dollars, literally. I would have to move somewhere. I would have to pay for rent. I would have to, all this stuff. And then when I came back to Montana, I would then have to go back to a school for 500 hours at least. So I'd be paying the same school more money so that my hours could be, because Montana ranks as one of the highest states for requirements for hours. So I would have to come back and take more hours to be legitimate and licensed in Montana. So it was kind of a lose-lose situation. So one day I come home, and I don't remember what had happened, but it was horrible. I literally left school in tears, as soon as I got in my car. I never let them see me cry. Got in my car, drove home. Bob worked night shift, so he would go to work at 11 p.m., and he would get off work at 7:30 in the morning. I came home, he's sound asleep, it's like 6 p.m., so it's his midnight, and I'm laying in bed crying, just like, this is insane. This isn't me. I'm depressed. I'm not happy. What is going on? I want to go to bed right now, and I look up, and I see a picture that I had put on a dream board on my ceiling that was of the trip to the Bahamas, and I was like, okay, if I stay here, they're going to win. I can earn this, because when I graduate, they're not going to care or remember who I was anyway. So I got up, started working, and every day I would get out of school, and it's like a mental fight in a lot of ways. I would get out of school, and I would have parties 2 and 3 hours away, and then drive home, get home at 2 in the morning, and then like have to have papers written and turned in by 9 a.m. that morning. And this went on for months. I earned the trip for 2 people, and we went to the Bahamas when I was halfway through school. And one of the ladies' stories that just got me and made me just realize that this is bigger than I thought it was that she was working 20 hours a day between 3 different jobs. She had been introduced to Arbonne. She was invited to a presentation, and she never saw her family. She and her husband obviously could never talk. Their phone never stopped ringing because it was bill collectors. They were losing their home. She's like, I literally would work. I would go to work in desperation, and I would come home in desperation. But I could just focus on what I needed to do today. So fast forward, she's walking stage for every piece of recognition that Arbonne gives. The very last thing, and I think we all have in our mind what someone that works Arbonne needs to look like. Like they need to be a tall, blonde Barbie doll, completely put together, blah, blah, blah. Like this woman had crazy hair. She, like nothing like what we think that we need to look like in our head of what someone that's successful looks like. And the last thing they gave her, she just started crying. And she's like, okay, so I got in, she's giving her backstory. She's like, the day that I was invited to a presentation, I said I couldn't go, and it ended up blizzarding, so I could go, but everybody else couldn't go, and the consultant was driving 5 hours to do this presentation, and the hostess called her to cancel. And the consultant was like, not a problem, I will see you when I get there, I already left. So she gets there, and she's like, this is the only thing I could see that I could work in the nooks and crannies of my day and from the seat of a tractor. So she started working. She's earning all these things, and the last thing they gave her was a 6-carat diamond bracelet, and she just started crying. She's like, you know that a year ago, and she's like telling her story. She's like, a year ago, I didn't know what I was going to feed my babies next week, and you want me to wear this? And I was covered in goosebumps. I could not stop crying. I got up out of that training, and I walked out to Bob, and I was like, I'm done with school. He goes, excuse me? I said, who cares who cuts your hair when you're dead? I want to change lives. And he just looks at me like, awesome. You're going to graduate, and you can change lives in 7 months when you're finished with school. And I was like, I hate you. So get home, back to hellhole. The next 7 months were the worst 7 months of my life. Every day, it was like teachers were finding new things to flunk me on or fail me on or whatever, and just nitpicking at all these little things. And I'm just sitting there just like, I can't wait till I'm done. And the day I graduated, well, and it looks better for the school if you were placed in a salon. So the day I graduated, one of my teachers came up to me and told me that I was making one of the biggest mistakes of my life, because out of the 7 girls in our class, we were the first class in 26 years that all girls started and all girls finished before their contracted date, meaning that no one in our class had to pay more because they had missed more hours, so nobody had to pay extra to like 3 hours over, whatever. We all finished before our contracted date. So they have kind of a graduation party, blah, blah, blah. They give us a little cake. And all these girls are being placed in salons. And they kept trying to get me to be placed in salons, and I had job offers and stuff. But all the people that I was watching, and one of the girls that they kept pointing out, and I know her very well, she, on a good month, would make $6,000 to $7,000, but that required her working 9 to 12-hour days. She has 2 kids. She was pregnant with a third. She was getting a divorce. Like, the list went on and on and on. And I'm just sitting there like, what part of me wants that life? But she also worked on me, and she would have 3 clients at a time to make that money. So I would be getting my hair cut and colored. While the color was sitting on my hair, she would do a man's haircut. She would put color on another person's head. While that color was sitting, she'd come back, rinse mine out, and cut and style it. And then it was like that was her day all day. So not only was I paying that much for my hair to be done, I left and didn't feel like it was a good experience. Like you were just like, I feel like a lot of people go to the salon to get taken care of, and like that's your downtime. Didn't feel like that at all. It was like I was being rushed because she needed to be rushed because she needed to make money. And I was sitting there just going, I don't want any part of this. And then to boot, she's going to end up having a baby and needing to take time off work, or she's going to put her child in daycare. So like all these things are going through my mind, and that's what she was going to have to do for $6 grand, maybe up to $8,000 a month. And I'm sitting here going, I just smiled and I got right in his face and I said, I will be 9 months pregnant, sitting on a beach, and I will still make $22,000 a month. I'm not making a mistake. He's like, hey, we'll see. Like, let's talk in 5 years. I was like, oh, buddy, we will. So I left and I started working Arbonne. And I built my business because I knew I needed to make a minimum of $2 grand a month between hair and Arbonne so that I did not have to work in a salon. And I needed to do that within 4 months. I graduated and I literally started working Arbonne, the hardest I have ever pursued anything. And I ended up booking 42 presentations in a 6-week period. And guess what? I got over my fear of talking in front of people. I mean, my hands will still be sweaty when I do a presentation or whatever, but I did so many that it became not scary to me. And all the things that I was afraid of, I started thinking about, okay, I was afraid of what people were going to think about me. But I'm sitting here thinking, and I even asked my mom, okay, so you're telling me this is a bad idea and I'm like making a huge bad life decision here. Are you going to pay my mortgage for me? The answer was no. Okay, you're telling me which vehicle to purchase, because at that point I was downsizing because I had gotten a pickup and like was buying a car, so my car payment wasn't as much and I got better gas mileage. And she was telling me that I needed 4-wheel drive and I needed to pick. I was like, are you going to pay my car payment for me? Again, the answer was no. But it was really hard because I am a people pleaser, and like people that know me don't think I am, but I take to heart what people say really deeply. And I just started watching, like, how were they supporting me? And the answer was they weren't. So, okay, why would their opinion matter then? Or something to think about too is the person that you're worried about what they think of you, do they have the life that you want? And if the answer is no, scratch their opinion. Start caring about the people's opinion that you want the life that they have. And so when I started doing all this, I promoted to area manager by the end of October, and then I started promoting people to districts. Like I promoted to area manager without any districts. So I'll get into what that means here. But I replaced the income that I would have made at a salon, just walking into a salon with not very many clients or being a paid employee hourly. But my worst paycheck as an area manager was more than I was making at my full-time job. And I was like, okay, why would I ever look at something different? But it was taking less time. So I'm going to cover really quickly Arbonne as the company, and then you can see how it fits into your life. Okay? So as a company, Arbonne was founded and started selling products in the U.S. in 1980. So we just had our 36th anniversary, and most people, before you're on a call like this or before you went to a presentation, most people have not ever heard of Arbonne. So we have ground floor opportunity in the U.S., but not only can we sell in the U.S., we can sell all over Canada, Australia, and we'll be opening to New Zealand June 2nd. We can sell in the UK, Poland, and we're opening to Taiwan this fall. The product advantage, a lot of times people are focused on what's in a product, and ours is extremely, like Arbonne uses the best formulas and proprietary blends in our products, but they have patents on most everything that we have. But a lot of times it's what's not in a product as an ingredient that's extremely important. So things that we cannot use, all of our products are vegan formulated, meaning that we can never test on animals. They are formulated without mineral oil, without dyes or chemical fragrances. All of our products are dermatologist tested and allergy tested. They also clinically test our products, meaning that our products are sent to a third party that tests all the products, gives Arbonne the results, so the people that were using the product never knew what they were using. And they're all pH correct, meaning that everybody has different skin types, And instead of having to use 17 products to get normal skin, you can pick and choose a product from each of our product lines to puzzle piece your product specific to you and get pH correct every single product instead of having to use 5 products in a row to have pH balance when you're finished. And that was why I was as oily as I was because I didn't like toners or I didn't like lotion because it would break me out. But the product lines that I was using, you had to use all the steps to have pH balance. Something else that we can never use is we can't do parabens, anything like petrolatum or petroleum, no sodium lauryl sulfates. We cannot use talc powder in any of our cosmetics, and all of our preservatives are formaldehyde free, and most preservatives will have some form of formaldehyde in them. And all of our nutrition products are all gluten-free, dairy-free, because we cannot use whey. They're all soy-free, and they're all nut-free. So it's awesome for people who have horrible allergies or just sensitivities to things, or maybe they just want cleaner products. And a lot of times I have people, if I'm working an event or a booth, that will ask me if I'm a vegan because I'm selling vegan products. And the answer is no, I will eat meat. However, if you knew what was in a product, you wouldn't want to be putting animal fat or bacon grease that's been refined on your face in products. So on top of that, Arbonne has a 45-day money-back guarantee. So product lines that we've got, they have skincare with anti-aging for men, baby, and teens, a full nutrition line, a weight management line, anything you can think of for bath and body. We have an entire detox spa line, a full cosmetic line, fragrance for men and women, a hair care line, sunscreen and lip balm, and all of these products that you're looking at, people are going to use every single day and flush down the toilet or wash it down the sink. So we also have an opportunity where you're able to sell the products. So this leads me to my next. I'm going to change pages here for you all watching. This leads me to my next slide. So Arbonne is only sold through consultants. And what that means is on the picture in front of you, every company starts from the manufacturer, right? So if Arbonne was sold in stores, they would have to mark the products up enough to pay the wholesaler, the warehouser. They'd have to pay to advertise it. They would sell it to a retail store. The retail store will mark it up 2 to 3 times and then sell it to you as a consumer. By not doing that, Arbonne gives you a lot cleaner products with pure ingredients. The manufacturer makes the product, they warehouse the products themselves. They sell it through an independent consultant, and it gets shipped directly to you as a consumer with a 45-day money-back guarantee. So from your standpoint as a business owner, you do not have to carry back stock, and you don't have to worry about somebody not liking something, because if they don't like it for whatever reason, you can either send it back or they're able to exchange it. So with all the companies that are out there, why would you pick Arbonne? I mean, like, anywhere you look is a network marketing company. And the reason being is that people are seeing the power of time leveraging, and they're looking for network marketing businesses, because most homes are 2-income homes, meaning 2 people are working. Like, it's hard for people to survive. I have friends with babies in daycare, and their daycare bill is a second mortgage. Like, it's crazy. So you can't survive without having that kind of income. So every person, and if you are afraid to talk to somebody that you know about this business opportunity, think of this and just remind yourself of this. Every person that you know within the next 2 to 3 years will be involved in some form of a network marketing company. Why would it not be yours? So things to look at from a business standpoint, there's 4 different categories. The first is consumable products. You want to work with a company that people are using the product daily, so they have to reorder it. Okay, so you're going to apply your mascara, you're going to use your shampoo and deodorant, toothpaste, like it's something you're going to buy without thinking about it. You're going to use it daily. Again, you're going to rinse it off. If you're doing any of the nutrition products, you're using them, your body absorbs the vitamins, you poop it out, you're going to buy more. You're going to, like, people are going to keep reordering, so you keep your clients. I still have clients from presentations that I did 10 years ago. The next thing, marketplace demand. Are people looking for what you have? And right now, the two largest categories are skincare and nutrition. So last year, skincare did $5.8 billion in sales, and nutrition did 12.5. Instead of having to have two companies that, like maybe, okay, the nutrition is awesome, and then they also sell skincare products, but they're really no different than anything you can buy at Target or Walmart. Arbonne has the same philosophy for their nutrition and their skincare, and it umbrellas both. So you working the business side, you get paid every time anybody orders any product out of our catalog. Another thing is that our generation wants clean products. We want to see labels. We want to know what's in it. We want to know where it came from and why it's being used. And Arbonne is the only company, and trust me, I've looked into so many companies because somebody will say, well, what's the difference between this and this? And I'll tell them to look at ingredients, but then I also want to know. And I will go look. We're the only company that will list every one of our ingredients, even proprietary blends, on our website. So if you go to arbonne.com, pull up a product, one of the tabs under it will say a product label. Click on it, it'll tell you all the ingredients. If you need to know why that product or ingredient is being used or where it comes from, ask your consultant, because we can get a PDF sheet that breaks it down to why it's being used, what it's used for, where it comes from, that kind of thing, and email it to you. So that's another thing. But then, does it go along with timing and trends? And right now, again, most people are two-income families. So we need to be able to work with internet and a phone. And you can work an Arbonne business with a phone and internet from anywhere in the world. You can go to an internet cafe if you need to. You can, like if you don't have a smartphone, you literally just need a phone to talk on the phone, but you need internet. And along with timing and trends, the next one is the ability to leverage your time. What does that look like? So like you can see on the little sheet in front of you, the little circle in the middle that says you, and there's 4 green circles around it. So right now, if you are working a full-time job or even a part-time job, so say you're working 32 to 40 hours a week, if you do not go to work for whatever reason, and you do not have paid time off, your paycheck will only ever reflect the hours that you worked. If you have paid time off, okay, you'll get paid for those hours, but then once it's gone, it's gone. What time leveraging means, oh, and by the way, if you train somebody, you don't get a bonus. So the 6 people that I was going to train, I was still going to be on probation. I was still getting my hours cut. I wasn't getting a bonus on anything. My paycheck did not change. But I am expected to do exceptional work, correct? So look at it from the other standpoint of, if you are training somebody, you can train other people to do the exact same thing that you are doing. And I'm going to use 10 hours a week because it's easy math, and that's what most people will work when they're working Arbonne. But if you work 10 hours a week and you've trained 4 other people to work 10 hours a week, your paycheck will reflect 50 hours a week. Okay, all the blue circles around each of those people, so they're going to keep duplicating, and they're going to be showing people. In this circle here, I have to do math for a second. You're going to be being paid on 210 hours of work, but you still only work 10 hours. So it doesn't matter, as long as you keep duplicating and you keep showing people the simple systems to use. And honestly, it's like showing people the business and showing people the products. You will keep duplicating, and you will make a paycheck on that. So when you start an Arbonne business, it's $79. With that, what do you get? You get an entire home office staffed. We have over 300 employees that you do not pay their paycheck. You get an entire research and development team. So everybody, like all the people that in Arbonne's corporate that are developing products that have PhDs and doctorates up the wazoo, I do not pay their paycheck. I just get to turn around and sell the product and make a commission. That if you were starting a business for that, it would cost you millions of dollars. You get a global shipping and warehousing department, meaning that every country that we are sold in, we have shipping and warehousing departments in those countries. So I can order a product and send it to someone in Poland. It'll send from the Poland website through their warehouse, ship directly to that person. I will get paid commission on it, but I will have never touched that product. And you can do that in all the countries. You get an entire legal team, so lawyers that are making sure that Arbonne as a company is living up to the standards that they need to live up to, but also protecting you as a consultant, making sure that the company will not go bankrupt or like they're doing things ethically and correctly so that they will be around as a business for quite a while. And you get an entire marketing department, meaning all of our printed materials you do not have to recreate. If you need something, ask, because people are going to, I don't know what happened, hang on a second. My Bluetooth is funky. How's that? Can you hear me? Jen, can I get a thumbs up? I think you can hear me. So all of that's included. You get a global website. So our website, same thing. You sign up, you get a website that's good in all the countries that we're open to. So again, I literally can go on, switch my website to Poland, and keep going, like just place an order for someone. And you get trained and taught by the best leaders in the field, whether that person will ever be paid on you or not. So like our goal as a consultant is to help make you successful. Because if you aren't successful, we aren't successful. So if I'm pouring 10 hours a week and I'm training you, if you are not making a paycheck and you're not duplicating, I literally have poured 10 hours a week into you to do nothing. So my goal is to make you better than me so that you can turn around and keep doing the same thing. Whereas in everyday life, people don't want you to be better than them, because if you are better than them, you're going to pass them and take away their job. You can't take away my job. The only way for you to take away my job is for me to quit. Or I can just keep training people. So the compensation, you can see it there on your screen or right here in the room. As a district manager, the average paycheck is between $100 to about $1,600. And I always ask people, are you an average person? If you're an average person, you will make the average paycheck of about $100. If you are above average, your paycheck will always reflect your working hours. And on top of that, you get a $200 bonus, cash bonus. As an area manager, you can will your business. So I could will my business to my younger sister, who is 16. If I passed away, Arbonne would send her my paycheck every single month. The day she turns 18, or we found out the month she turns 18, she can become a consultant and step into my business and work my business like me and keep building from where I left off. You get a $400 cash bonus at this level, and the average paycheck is between $1,400 and $4,700. Regional Vice President is the level that we get our car. So you get to choose a white Mercedes. It has to be white and it has to be Mercedes. And Arbonne will send you in your paycheck another $800 a month to make that car payment. You also get life insurance. You get a $600 cash bonus, and the average paycheck is between $5,300 and $11,000, and honestly, it goes up to $17,000. And on the higher end of these paychecks, once you're at the higher end, you will be in qualification and promoting to the next level. And then National Vice President, you get a $1,000 Mercedes bonus, an $800 cash bonus, and the average paycheck of a National Vice President is $21,000 a month. But there is no cap. The people, like right now there's 5 National Vice Presidents in Montana, and on our team alone, we have promoted 22 people to the level that you get your Mercedes or above. And the nice thing is, it doesn't matter. So like right now, I have people on my team. You can name a state, and I either have a client or a consultant there. or I have a client or consultant there on someone on my team. So you can reach all over and be paid on those people from all over the world and live wherever you want. Like, I could be doing this call right now from a beach as long as I have internet, right? So it doesn't matter where I'm actually at. So you get to decide. Do you want to shop and just buy the products from your consultant and redirect your spending so you're using cleaner products? Do you want to save money, buy products at a discount, or do you want to earn a paycheck and also take advantage of all these other things that you can earn through Arbonne as a consultant? A couple other things that I forgot to mention in our compensation. We also have a trip that comes out every year. I have earned 3. I thought they were a lie. Like, the first one I took, I had to kind of slap myself to be like, okay, this is real. It's not just Las Vegas. But we have a trip for your family every year. We have a trip to the conference once a year. And we have a trip for you as a consultant every year. And you can earn all of them, but they still pay you. You can earn all of them, they still pay you, and they still pay you for your car payment. You can earn jewelry, and Arbonne gives incredible jewelry away. I've earned Tiffany bracelets and necklaces, and they give away really nice stuff. So here's a few questions in closing. This was kind of, I'm just going to review really quickly what we just explained. So we talked about Arbonne as a company, who we are, what we do, and what's in it for you. So the real question is, why me? Why should I get involved? And I want you to go back to high school. How many of you remember it? How many of you don't remember it? How many of you wish you could forget it? So remember when you're either out on the field or you're in the gym and the whole class at the same time throws their hats in the air. That is symbolic to one chapter of life ending and a new chapter beginning, right? Like when you're in school, you just want to get through high school and you can't wait to start life. So the new chapter comes, you have aspirations, dreams, you set out to change the world, you're going to leave your mark, and you're going to build your own life. On to reality. You're in your early 20s, you finish school, you get a job, you get married, you buy a house, you have children, you get a dog, and you have mounting debt. Your dreams get pushed aside because you wake up to an alarm clock, you pack lunches, you drop kids off at school, you go to the office and work all day, you come home, cook dinner, give kids their bath, go to bed, get up early the next day, and do all of it all over again. And you accept it because it's what you've been dealt. And we don't dream or we don't daydream about someday because someday never gets here. So your hope dies, our dreams die, and our aspirations die. But what if it's not too late? What if you're never too old? You still have a chance, and people in your life need you to step up to make a change. Arbonne is a vehicle. You can use it as that vehicle to reignite your hope, your dreams, your aspirations. You can use it as a vehicle to give you time and financial freedom, to get you home with your kids, or if you're a stay-at-home mom and you want to leave, it can give you time to get out away from your kids. You can travel the world, buy your dream home, help your parents, and give back to your community. So the decision is up to you. Some of you don't feel like you have the energy, you don't want to change, and you don't see this for yourself. But some of you are tired of the rat race, tired of not having a voice, and feel that you were created for more. If you are sitting here tonight and you just got goosebumps up and down your arms, butterflies in your stomach, and you're saying to yourself, this is something that I want to be a part of, then talk to the person that invited you when we're done, and they can share with you what the next step in the process is. If you're saying, this sounds interesting, but I have some questions, that's great. Let's get you connected to the person that invited you. We will answer all your questions, and we'll help you make an informed decision about being part of the dynamic growing team. Get who invited you so we can get all that answered. Or if you're saying, this was great information, but the business isn't for me. We totally respect that. We know this business isn't for everybody, but thank you for at least coming and being open-minded enough to hear what we're all about. But all that we would like to ask is now that you've seen the kind of toxic chemicals that are being put in many of our skincare and health and wellness products, why would you go back home and continue to use them? Talk to the person who invited you about at least trying out some of these amazing, pure, safe, and beneficial products, and get your family on the road to total health from the inside or out. Thank you for coming or dialing in or listening in or watching the recording, and have a good rest of your evening, and we will talk to you soon.